Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, who's that Falcon? It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with ya. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
It's going great. Can I tell you one thing? Can we talk Pikmin Bloom
Sure.
for a second?
Yeah,
for a second?
yes,
So
we can.
Pikmin Bloom is a mobile app that.
Okay, we're really breaking it
Well,
down.
I mean, we haven't talked about it for a while,
Sure.
and I know Miyamoto did like a whole thing about it, but that was like 2 years ago.
Right. Yes.
Pikmin Bloom, it's an app that Nintendo developed with Niantic where you use it for tracking your steps, and you can grow Pikmin and plant flowers and all that kind of stuff.
It is theoretically kind of like Pokemon Go, except it is even less gamey than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But one of them...
It's also a game that you and I have been playing every day since for a year and a half.
Yes, yeah. And one of the mechanics in it is you send your Pikmin after mushrooms.
Yes.
And when you destroy the mushrooms, you can work with other people to destroy them, and then you get rewards for doing so. Well, recently, my world got rocked because they updated the maps, and they updated the locations of these mushrooms. And so, the mushrooms that I was familiar with around my house no longer exist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gone.
All of them? That tiny library by your
yes,
house is
it's
gone? What?
There used to be 3. If I was just in my house, there used to be three that I could attack. Now there's just 2. And they're totally different than the ones that were there before.
So there used to be 2 that I could attack from my house and 2 from my office.
Uh-huh.
And I actually got all of those are still here. But I got more mushrooms in my neighborhood. So I don't know because every now and then there is a storefront on the main drag near me that used to be a tropical bird store that is not anymore, but still is labeled in the Niantic thing as tropical bird store. And that one always had 5 people attacking it, always. So I think there are people in this neighborhood who aren't just me playing Pikmin Bloom. So I think they were just we need more mushrooms there. But yeah, it's been interesting to see the map change.
Yeah. And when you're traveling or going to other places, I didn't really notice. But then when I got home, the ones that I was familiar with were gone. They'd been Thanos.
Right. You can never go home again.
Yeah.
That's right. Did you do the fun thing of so you just returned from Europe? Did you do the fun thing where as soon as you get back, you send some of your Pikmin on a 60-day trip to go pick up a pair for you or something?
And it's all right, we'll see you in 45 days.
Yeah, I love it. I sent them back across the country to Virginia after I got back this summer, and it was something 47 days of them walking across the country and then back. They're undeterred by bodies of water. They go right through them.
Yeah, they go right through them.
All right. If you would like to support us going through bodies of water, you can go to patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you are supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episodes of miniseries like NCS Arcade.
Yes, where we're talking about games, generally speaking, that Patrick and I have never beaten before.
That's right.
And for September, but that we'll be recording this weekend.
We know.
We're going to be talking about Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
Yes.
That was originally released for the Nintendo DS.
Yes. An action role-playing platforming adventure.
It's all those things.
It's all those things. It's amazing to me how, having actually started to dig into the game, how much ongoing lore there is about Castlevania.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And just being these are all characters in a cast in an ongoing saga, which I am a tourist in.
Yes.
But so anyway, we will be recording and releasing that shortly. We also do little feedback episodes where anyone can email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com with their questions, their remembrances, their thoughts about Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. And those episodes will be available to everyone who follows us on Patreon. You don't have to be spending any money there. You can follow us for free to send those emails or to hear the episode that those emails will be read.
That's right. And really, I think any of those like Metroidvania games are fair play if you want to send in the
Metroidvania Castlevania games?
Yes.
Or just any Metroidvania game?
Yeah, the Metroidvania Castlevania games.
There we go. Okay, great.
Or Bloodstained, I guess.
Sure.
The ocean is wide.
Yes, that's right. The ocean is wide, so you better cast a wide net to catch all the widest fish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then that's it. If you would like to be in our Discord, you should email us. Again, it's Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, and we will send you an invitation. Mark, we've got some fun F-Zero stuff to do, so let's get into it. Let's figure out who these F-Zero guys are. Okay, we'll acknowledge it right up front. I did say on Tuesday that you and I, Mark, might be ranking the Mario games today.
And that was the plan.
That was the plan.
But then Nintendo dropped all this F-Zero stuff in our lap.
We got a bunch of F-Zero stuff going on. So what are the F-Zero things going on?
F-Zero 99 got an update that includes tracks from the Satellaview broadcast. I was going to say game, which I guess is
kind of
maybe true.
Yeah, these are tracks that have not been playable outside of Japan ever and have not been playable in any form for like 30 years. So incredibly weird stuff. But then we also got the announcement that F-Zero Climax and F-Zero GP Legend are coming to the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Switch Online library. Notable here because F-Zero Climax never released outside of Japan.
Yeah, and with all of this F-Zero stuff, it's becoming more and more apparent that, Patrick, you and I know very little about F-Zero.
We just don't know that much about F-Zero. And, like, look, is that going to start to become, like, an embarrassing blight on our record?
Yeah, could this become a problem in the future?
It might be.
Yeah.
So what do we do, Mark? What do we do when we don't know anything about a franchise?
Well, normally we speculate wildly and then never look anything up, but we're not doing that this week.
No,
this week
we're doing part of that.
Yeah. we're educating ourselves.
That's right. In the form of we've done this for Pokemon, we did this for Mortal Kombat. We are going to randomly select characters from the enormous roster of F-Zero racers, and we are going to say we're going to like logic our way to who we think this person is, and then we are going to look it up and sort of compare and see just how much we nailed it.
Yeah,
because I think we're gonna nail it.
I have little doubt.
So there are by the count that we have assembled here, 59 characters.
Almost 60
characters.
My goodness.
Do you want to just like add one, like a make-believe one, so we get to 60? And look, the only really F-Zero game that I put like actual time and attention into is the original Super NES F-Zero.
Yeah, same.
Which has 4 characters in it. And off the top of my head, I can only name 2 of them. So we thought we would start with, the most basic, the avatar for the franchise, Captain Falcon, who drives the Blue Falcon, originally introduced in the Super NES F-Zero. And just, so this is theoretically the character that you and I know the best. So who is Captain Falcon?
Well, can I say that Captain Falcon, I had played F-Zero for the Super Nintendo, but I didn't clock Captain Falcon really as a character until Smash Brothers.
Which I think makes a ton of sense, because like I think you maybe see a little like just a sprite that represents his head at some point, but mostly you're just seeing the back of that car.
Right.
And like there's no real story like presented to you in the first game. But yeah, so we got Captain Falcon.
Yeah. Captain Falcon, a bounty hunter.
Yes.
This I know to be true.
We know that he's a bounty hunter, but he's probably a bounty hunter in that Samus Aran Nintendo kind of way, where they don't actually know what that is.
It just knows that it sounds cool.
It just sounds
It's a cool occupation.
That's right. So he has a cool occupation. Seems like he's got a little bit of a devil may care.
Yes.
Right? Like attitude.
And I guess he's gotten into racing because he just lives for thrill.
Okay, so this is where we start making stuff up. So we know very little even about Captain Falcon.
Right.
We know he wears blue.
Hey, we know he wears blue
and like little sunglasses,
and
right?
he has like Falcon decal on his like shin guards,
right?
Because safety first when
right.
you're
That's right.
You're an F-Zero racer.
Are they decals or are they like carved that way?
Yeah, you're right. They're not decals. I think they are like shin guards.
Okay, yes.
So I think they offer some form of protection
and like a helmet with like a bird on it, right?
A falcon, presumably.
One has to imagine.
And he. the Falcon Punch from Smash Brothers is a fiction created for Smash Brothers to give him a signature move, right? Like it is not something that he does in the game.
So he certainly doesn't do it in the game. The place where we may run into trouble is that there is also an F-Zero anime that didn't get like a ton of circulation outside of Japan. So like there is mythology being established there. Some of these characters actually start in the anime before moving over to the games. So I don't know. I mean, I have to assume because Smash Brothers comes out in like 1997, 6, 8?
8
maybe. Probably. Within the lifespan of the Nintendo 64. And by that point, I mean, I think it's still a relatively new franchise that wouldn't have had many opportunities for him to be punching stuff.
There's also some sort of 99. There's also some sort of shadowy organization that he like is
a part of or fighting
against.
Okay,
I think. But also I don't know where that comes from. Right?
Yeah, sure.
But anyways, that's basically that's what I know about Captain Falcon.
That's what we know. You know what? I'm gonna go back and support your Falcon Punch being a made up fiction for Smash Brothers because he basically has the moveset of before Smash Brothers had Nintendo characters in it. It was like a martial arts, still with like the same mechanics, but like he has basically the moveset of those characters. That's just like a normal brawler with punches and kicks and stuff. So yeah, I will totally back up that Falcon Punch, and the fact that this guy punches at all is a fiction made up in Smash Brothers.
One last thing we should speculate on before we check our work: personality. What is his?
Yeah. Okay.
You said devil may care, which I think is true.
I think kind of a jerk.
Yeah, cocky.
Yeah, but like more than just cocky. Like I think he's less fun to be around than Han Solo. Okay. And that, by the way, we will check in on every character. Are they more fun or less fun to hang out with than Han Solo? But yeah, and I don't think probably a loner, right?
Yeah, probably. I feel like if you're a bounty hunter, you're a loner.
Sure, Samus is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both bounty hunters.
There we go.
All right. So now, and then we are of course using the F-Zero fandom wiki to verify all of our thoughts about these characters. Captain Falcon, we know, of course, that he is the protagonist of the series. Yep, good. He's a racer and renowned. He's a bounty hunter of some renown, an intergalactic bounty hunter.
Okay.
He's from Port Town. Okay, I guess I wouldn't have thought.
So maybe like blue collar roots.
Sure. Yeah, Port Town implies that.
Yeah.
By age 36, Captain Falcon had built a reputation as one of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy, and that has earned him many enemies. Let's
36.
See. Yeah.
So
a little bit on like the older side for a Nintendo protagonist.
Yeah.
We're used to like a 14-year-old Link or whatever.
Right. Yeah, this 36-year-old man who already has like a career as a bounty hunter and has been doing it for a while.
And Mark, I don't know if it's for the thrills, but he joined the F-Zero races to fuel his competitive drive. So he's a competitive guy, which is why he's doing this.
Well, that tracks because it says that a quote from him in the Super Nintendo instruction manual is, "There are two kinds of drivers in this race: me and the losers with an exclamation point. So
wow.
I think Jerk is
probably right.
Is on there.
During his long career, he has consistently thwarted the plans of Black Shadow and other evil forces, both on and off the Grand Prix circuits. Much of Falcon's past is shrouded in mystery.
Okay.
He also has an evil clone, but we're not going to get into that because that may be a spoiler for a future character that we roll here. All right, so I think we were pretty close.
I think we were pretty close.
We did not guess that he was 36 years old.
No.
And now we know that is something that we need to try to account for.
Yeah.
How old are these characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 36 kind of rocks my world.
It does, right?
Just because he's like getting up there.
Yeah. I mean, you and I are both older than 36 years old at this point.
Right.
But like, yeah, he's for a video game protagonist. He seems old.
Yeah. Little grizzled.
Okay, so now we need to roll a number between 1 and 58. I've pulled up a random number generator. Mark, we are going to be looking at character number 18.
Beastman.
Beastman. See, now this is why I like exercises like this, is because what the heck? What is happening here?
Okay, Beastman.
Right, and what do we know about Beastman? We know that he drives the Hyper Speeder, and that he's originally introduced in F-Zero X,
which is the Nintendo 64 game.
Yes, correct. We will not always know that.
Okay.
Who do you think Beastman is?
Okay, so it is true, if I'm not mistaken, that not all of the racers in F-Zero are human.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to guess that Beastman is do we think bear-like?
See, in my head, and I'm sort of, this is a Tekken thing that I'm thinking of, I'm picturing with like a tiger head.
Okay.
Or like some sort of wild cat head.
Yeah.
Like a lion, maybe.
Okay, now that you're saying that, like, I totally hear where you're going. I almost feel like Wolfman, maybe?
Ooh, okay. See, but I feel like if he's wolf-like, then you just
Wolfman.
lean exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, large cat-like,
large cat-like,
cowardly lion-esque
in appearance. Right. What's interesting is like I know Beast Boy, obviously, from the DC universe, right? A little like impish creature who can turn into different animals.
Yeah,
I like Beast Boy. Great Teen Titans character. But I feel like Beast Man is more. He's more. I picture him as being like a brute.
I think so too, and I think more beast than man. Like walks on 2 legs,
right?
But
laps water out of a bowl.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
he doesn't drink it. He laps it up. Right?
And like at a bar, like post race,
right?
You know, some people maybe want to kind of give him crap about lapping up his post-race drink,
right?
But then he like uses his claws,
right,
to just like scratch those people up.
That's right. So okay, less fun to hang out with than Han Solo.
Yeah, noted. I will say that he is. I think it's a male, and I think Beast.
You think Beast Man is
a
male?
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Okay, great.
And I'm gonna guess that he is 32 years old.
Okay, Beast Man. His quote from the manual is, of course, "I am Beast Man. I fight to the death." So he is a man.
Oh.
And he specializes in hunting dangerous animals. That's his main occupation.
Oh.
He's a little bit more Craven the Hunter-y is what I'm gathering from this. He's wearing like it is either a like snake helmet or and he's got like a chest plate that has like cheetah print on it. I'm assuming that's cheetah fur from like a cheetah that he like hunted and killed with his bare hands.
Yeah, and so do you think that the helmet, because the helmet kind of looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Sure, okay, yeah.
Bit. And so I wonder, if he like hunted a creature from the Black Lagoon and then is wearing its
Well, I'm sorry. We just had to read a little bit from the bio here.
Okay.
Beastman was once attacked by a large space crocodile, which changed his life forever. Donning the attire of a dinosaur, he became a beast hunter. Okay, he's wearing the attire of dinosaurs, and he was attacked by a large space crocodile.
Okay, he looks like a G.I. Joe villain.
He does look like a G.I. Joe villain, yes.
But I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
He's 30 years old.
Okay, good.
So I was pretty close.
What did you say?
32.
32, yes.
I like how these are. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but and we'll see when we get to a third one. But they all seem to be like roided up, angry men who like are taking out their aggression,
some kind of aggression. Yeah.
In F-Zero Racing.
That's just 2. That's not a pattern, right?
You're right.
3 makes a pattern. So we will see if the next character falls in line. Okay, I think we understand Beastman now.
Here's something interesting. Why did he get into F-Zero Racing?
Sure.
To promote himself for anybody wishing to employ his services.
Now, what services are those? He kills beasts professionally?
I think beast hunting, yeah. Beast mastering.
This is just a different beast mastering?
No, you're right. It's beast man. It's not beast master.
So he's just a bounty hunter that only...
Well, he's not a bounty hunter.
But like he's
like a big game hunter, I think.
I see.
So like
how
I have like a skunk living in my backyard,
right?
And I could pay somebody to trap it.
Right.
Maybe if you have like
a
space crocodile,
right?
That's just that you need trapped,
right?
And then skinned and then turned into armor. That you would hire Beastman to do it.
I
I kind of like Beastman.
Beastman's all right. I mean, I think that I don't like big game hunting. Just generally speaking,
yeah,
I think that's bad.
In Beastman's defense,
yes,
he was attacked by a large space crocodile. So he didn't go out looking for it. It just happened to him,
right?
And that transformed his life. Totally changed the trajectory of his existence
and his whole like aesthetic too.
Yeah.
Have I told you my theory about skunks?
No.
Any skunk that doesn't spray you is friendly.
Oh.
So that's just how I choose to live my life.
Yeah.
That like, oh, I saw a skunk, I didn't get sprayed. He was friendly. That skunk is my friend.
Yeah. I like that.
Do you really have a skunk living in your backyard?
Yeah, I have at least one and a possum as well. And the possum is like incredibly fat. We see it on our security camera, just kind of like waddling around.
Fantastic.
But and then there's also like raccoons in the neighborhood. There's cats. There's a lot going on. But the city because they're like they're wild animals, so the city won't trap them or anything.
Right.
So they're kind of like,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Like they live there too. Okay. So that's it. We understand Beast Man. Mark, let's roll our next. I've got a random number generator between 1 and 57. We are it is taking us right to number 1,
which is Deathborn.
Deathborn. Okay, and he drives the Dark Schneider. Originally introduced in F-Zero GX.
Okay, so the Dark Schneider.
Hey, Dark Schneider, what are you doing?
The Dark Schneider makes me think that he's German. That Deathborn is German.
Sure. Okay. Now, I feel like going down like kind of a scary road here with like a dark German. There aren't Nazis in.
No, I don't.
F-Zero, right?
I don't even. I'm gonna say that he's not even like the sci-fi equivalent.
Sure. Okay.
He doesn't work for the Empire.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But there is something. So Deathborn certainly implies to me some sort of like ancient order of like death worshipping monks or something.
Yes. And what I completely. And what I was going to say is that it also makes me think, because some of these are fairly literal.
Yes.
Like Beast Man turned out to be incredibly
pretty literal. Yes.
Yeah. So like Deathborn makes me wonder if he had like a near death experience at some point.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe at a young age.
Yeah.
And that was the fulcrum, the thing that changed his life from normal human being to aggressive F-Zero racer.
Yeah. So do you think I posited maybe that he's like part of a death worshipping order. Do you think that's right, or that he's maybe like a lone a loner who worships death.
I think it's both. So I think he had no, sorry. Both my idea and your idea.
Gotcha.
Which is that he had some sort of like near-death experience, which drove him into the arms of this death-worshipping cult. And also he does F-Zero racing because he needs to feel
close to death. Yeah, that's got to be correct. How old is he?
32.
I'm gonna say this guy's ancient.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say he's like 70.
Okay.
Sorry to any of our listeners over 70.
We're not that far behind. We're not that far behind. Someday soon we'll be in their comfort shoes.
Yes. More or less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Less.
This guy's a bummer, right?
This guy is a bummer to be around. I'm all black, maybe some black and red.
Yeah, probably
in his outfit.
Yeah. Maybe some cybernetics here, right?
Oh, maybe some cybernetics. Maybe he had like a RoboCop type thing happening.
Sure, yeah.
Like his near-death experience like should have killed him.
Right.
But then he was rebuilt, maybe against his will.
Right. Okay. I like all of this. Let's see what Deathborn's deal is. Okay, so we did not guess that he wears a cape. He does wear a cape.
Oh, we should have guessed. Oh, he's
the main antagonist of story mode in F-Zero GX.
Oh.
He looks a little bit like a Sonic the Hedgehog villain, I won't lie.
He does. He looks like Eggman or like Robotnik.
Right.
With a cape and like a Robotnik who's been hitting the gym.
Yeah, and like what's the opposite of skipping leg day?
Right.
Like
focuses
this guy does.
He's like
squats.
Shoulders and thighs.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Little else is known about this F-Zero pilot. Let's see. There's a possibility that Deathborn is one of the criminals that a pilot named Phoenix was chasing.
Yeah, it seems like he's like just a mysterious antagonist.
Yeah,
right?
I think we don't really know very much about him at all. Age unknown.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so this may be one where we're right by default.
Well, nobody can prove us wrong. I think that is until we get like a new F-Zero game or something with more information about Deathborn's identity. We don't have any proof.
Yes,
that we're incorrect.
The thing is, I do think we were a little bit off on the. Well, I mean, we invented a whole thing about like what the death part is, but like I was not picturing this like, and maybe I should have, that he's got a little bit of like a Dracula thing going on, right?
Yeah, definitely like a Dracula supervillain type thing. No, yeah. I would say in description we were completely wrong, and in like background we are probably wrong, but nobody can prove that at this point.
I will note that the F-Zero fandom wiki does say that Deathborn looks like a demonic cyborg, having many robotic parts around his body, which include a gas mask and a brain within a transparent glass on his head.
Oh, interesting. So he's got a little bit of the wow, this is incredibly embarrassing for me. Grievous, General Grievous.
Yes,
couldn't think of the name.
That's right.
From Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So we were right about some cybernetics. We got there. So yeah, I think we're pretty close.
Less fun to be around than Han Solo for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably ancient, at least 70. Mark, next, I'll do a random number generator between 1 and 56. We are talking now about number 51. Who is, of course,
Captain Falcon.
Okay, now this we have to come to terms with that. Captain Falcon is on this list twice, because this entry is from the F-Zero GP legend. In parentheses, he's called Bart Lemming. So we need to find out if this is like a descendant of Captain Falcon or just like Captain Falcon again. Because if it's just Captain Falcon again, or wait, do we have to theorize on that first?
Yeah, I think we need to theorize on it.
So that's sort of my thinking, is that like the original Captain Falcon died or something, and this is like the next generation.
Oh, sure, like taking up the cowl,
picking up the mantle. And I will say that this is probably a more idealistic person, someone who just like saw Captain Falcon and was like enamored by like the spirit of adventure that he had, and maybe like was following in his footsteps, but was like, man, you're too cold and like violent and weird, and like I thought you were doing this for the racing. Just like a more purely motivated, new generation of Captain Falcon.
We're talking like Batman and Robins type thing.
Yeah,
where like the Robins have different personalities.
Yeah, totally. That
from
this
Bruce Wayne.
That this is a much more of a like Dick Grayson, as Robin or Nightwing. A lot of DC parallels here.
Yeah. So yes, I agree with this. Maybe the original Captain Falcon died in a horrible F-Zero racing accident.
Sure.
But Captain Falcon can never die, and so this person, Bart Lemming, decided to step in. And do you think people know that it's a different Captain Falcon, or do you think everybody is just under the impression that there's always just been one Captain Falcon?
I think it's probably like, after Bruce Wayne died, and Dick Grayson was like running around as Batman, that people like log the difference, but they don't have any like hard evidence, that they're just like, oh yeah, the Batman seems like he's a little bit more fun now.
Yes.
I think it's like that.
Okay.
I don't think we're correct though. I think it's possible that, so this is, now we're just like trying to navigate the...
Okay. Well, okay, what does our listing say that Bart Lemming is from? Which game? F-Zero GX?
No, from GP Legend.
Okay.
I think we maybe just get his name for the first time ever in that.
Well, here we go.
Okay.
This video game is based on the anime of the same name. So I'm looking up Captain Falcon, parentheses anime, which has a little bit different information. And it starts saying Andy Summer, parentheses, also known as Bart Lemming, Captain Falcon, and Berserker, was the pilot of the Blue Falcon, like a bunch of other stuff. So that makes me believe that it's the same person, but has like different aliases, depending on who he is. Almost, again, like a Batman and Bruce Wayne type thing, where it's like, oh, you mean like Andy Summer is the true Captain Falcon, but then he has all these different personas, like Bart Lemming,
right?
Like Falcon,
like Matches Malone.
Who's Matches Malone?
Is it Matches Malone? Is that the like that Bruce Wayne has like an alter ego that's like the like an underworld right? His name is Matches?
Yeah,
right?
No, you're right. You're right. Was the name of a criminal and a common guise adopted by Batman to infiltrate the Gotham's criminal underworld.
Yeah.
Matches Malone is pretty good. Yes, I think that Bart Lemming. Okay. Personality.
Yeah.
Andy Summer changed his personality slightly depending on the persona he took on.
Whoa.
As Bart Lemming, he was a kind, soft-spoken mentor type, the latter of which applied especially towards Ryu Suzaku. He was also a father figure to Clank. Okay.
See, we're getting too many other character names here that's going to give away the game. But I think, look, a kinder, gentler version of himself is sort of what we were saying, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think the part where we got it wrong is that it's the same person.
Right.
Not a different person.
Not like the next generation's Captain Falcon. But you have to imagine that, like, his name isn't Falcon, right? So, like, Captain Falcon is a title.
Yeah, I think that's right. And so, I don't know if we said if we thought that he was more or less fun than Han Solo.
I don't think we did. Yeah.
I don't know, because he's probably nicer than Han Solo.
Mm-hmm. But is he as cool as Han Solo? Right.
I'm gonna say
probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. So we'll say a little less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Yeah.
Not nearly so much as like Deathborn, who is
right.
Obviously less fun to be around. Okay, we got a wrench thrown into our little exercise here early, but I think we're still in good shape. Now it is between 1 and 55. We are generating number 17.
Leon.
Just Leon. That's
from
all we
F-Zero X. So
okay,
the
great.
Nintendo 64 game, and he drives the Space Angler.
Space Angler. So Leon, of course, there is a Leon in Star Fox, which is where my brain goes first.
Oh, Resident Evil is what I jumped to.
Great. Yes, also that. And in both cases, like, well, so Leon is a rookie cop, right, in Resident Evil. In Star Fox, he's a member of Star Wolf, and he's kind of like a snooty guy. What do we think about this guy? This is Star Angler?
Yeah,
Space
Angler.
Space Angler. That makes me think of like fish, right?
Right.
Leon.
Could this be... Okay, we were wrong about Beastman.
Yeah.
Could this be...
Some kind of fish man?
Yeah, some kind of like creature from the Black Lagoon type thing.
I like that a lot. So this is some sort of fishman creature.
But maybe his name is Leon. So maybe...
Literally all we have to go.
So maybe there's something about the name that makes me think perhaps this is like an aristocratic...
Oh, you're seeing something
creature
like
from the Black
highfalutin.
Lagoon. Yeah.
There's the.
Or do you think of Leon as more like working class?
I think of it as more working class, and especially when combined with Space Angler, makes me think that he is probably a fisherman, right? That
okay.
He could also be a fishman, right? But that he spends his days like fishing, and like.
Well, if he is fishing, then maybe we do have this all wrong, and he's not a fish man, but he's an older human man.
Right.
Like the reason that a F-Zero Ernest Hemingway would write The Old Man and the Sea.
Sure. Okay.
Based on this Leon.
Right. That he's just like, it's his father was a fisherman. His son would have been a fisherman if he ever had a son, but he never did.
Yes.
And so what is F-Zero racing his retirement?
Yeah, I think he's chasing death.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
A little grim, but I like it.
a tad.
A kindly older man, right?
Do those exist in the F-Zero universe?
So far, no one is kind.
Bart Lemming
is okay. He's kinder.
Yeah. So no, I would say no.
No, you think grizzled?
I think grizzled.
Okay. So less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Yeah.
And then age
70s?
70s again. Ancient.
No, I mean realistically, I think he's probably pretty young.
Okay. Let's look now at Leon, driver of the Space Angler. Okay, now he is like a
this
cat
is upsetting.
Man. He's a cat man.
This is upsetting.
He's an anthropomorphic beast-like F-Zero pilot, who made his debut in F-Zero X. His parents were killed in a war on his home planet of Zao. His species has a natural advantage over humans, such as sharper reflexes and natural instincts. Oh man.
It was then decided that Leon would be sent to the F-Zero Grand Prix to be a symbol of hope for his alien war-torn planet. These are all grim. He's 16 years old.
Oh, no.
Although he wasn't considered especially bright, he proved to be a natural at the F-Zero races despite his young age. It's his hope to become a champion so he can use the reward money to save the children of Zao from poverty.
So he's a young, dumb war refugee?
Trivia.
Yeah.
First bullet point.
Yeah.
Leon coaches a soccer team for children in his spare time and works as a wrestler as well.
All right. We got to slow down. There's too much happening here.
Okay. He's 16 years old.
Okay. Wrong.
He's a space cat.
Right.
With a really tragic background.
Right. And he tries to give back to the community, but is kind of dumb, we think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's not considered especially bright, but maybe that's just for Zao. Maybe the people on Zao are like geniuses.
Sure.
And in comparison, he is in fact really bright.
Well, and also maybe people are just underestimating him. They see this cat guy walking in and they're like, get a load of this bozo. Right?
Right. They're like, ooh, when Beastman gets a load of Leon.
Yeah, he's going to rip his head off
and
wear it as shin guards.
Yeah.
Okay. I do, it is mortifying to me how wrong we got that.
Yeah, this one was pretty bad. But I am gonna say
I'm interested.
I
want to know more about Leon.
It's gonna be a bummer.
Yeah,
but he seems like he has like a positive attitude, trying to make the best out of a terrible situation. Gotta be less fun to be around than Han Solo, right?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you start telling stories about your childhood, he's just gonna respond with like the darkest possible story.
But he's gonna then like laugh and be like, "But what are you gonna do?
Let's play soccer or wrestle." All right, he's okay.
He's okay. I like Leon. I'm rooting for Leon.
Yeah, me too.
I'm rooting for Leon.
I'm rooting for Leon as well. All right. Now we need a number between 1 and 54. Racer number 32.
Dai Goro.
Dai Goro, who drives the Silver Rat.
DAIGOROH.
Now, is Samurai Goro, or right? That's one of the characters in the original F-Zero.
I don't know.
So this is another case.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this a? Does that mean something? The Japanese word that means something?
Maybe, because there's another character on this list named Dai Sangen. Daisangen.
Okay, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit and look up Dai in Japanese. Means big.
Okay.
Or like a large ordinal marker. So is this like Samurai Goro's father?
So I'm going to guess that this is a corpulent driver.
Okay. A big guy.
A big guy.
Okay.
Yes. And
he drives a Silver Rat, which leads me to believe. Well, two clues I'm getting here. Silver, A, that makes me think he's an older gentleman. And B, Rat means he's probably a jerk.
Yeah, probably a jerk.
He's out to backstab you, which is why I'm thinking like maybe he's the Samurai Goro's father, right? And that like maybe Samurai Goro is, and this is all I'm guessing here, his like failed son from like a criminal empire or something.
Do you think it might be the reverse, just because Dai Goro was introduced later?
Maybe.
That like Samurai Goro is the father.
Could be, yeah.
And Dai Goro is like the failed son who is living in Samurai Goro's shadow.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad either, right? That either way. But it's a total difference in like status, right?
Right.
But either way, we think a large gentleman.
Well, and I think Samurai Goro sounds to me higher status than like Dai Goro,
even though Dai means big.
Yeah. Well, again, in my head, I'm thinking big as in like large.
Right. Okay. So he may be like a little bit more of like a bruiser, like a heavy that like gets pulled in to do like the dirty work of like some kind of organization. I'm imagining like organized crime.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of an enforcer. Less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Yes. Age?
26?
Yeah, probably
like, young, right?
Yeah.
And we're
just out of space college.
Just out of space college. Just failed out of space college.
Kind of bumming around.
Right.
And
maybe like effective at his job. Maybe like knows the city pretty well. Like is in good with like the like janitorial crews at places and like knows all the good places to like eat. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes. And the reason he's in F-Zero is because it's like the family business.
Yeah. Do you think it is to like follow in his father's footsteps or to like best his father?
I think it is maybe to best his father.
Okay, so there's like a resentment here.
Yeah.
All right. Dai Goro. Looking him up. See if I can find him. Dai Goro, driver of the Silver Rat.
Oh, he's 10.
Okay, so he's a kid.
He is the only son of Samurai Goro.
Okay, all right. So Dai must be a little bit of a like an ironic name, right?
Yeah.
Because he looks little.
Daigoro has great respect for his dad
Okay.
and boasts about him being the greatest thief ever.
Okay. We know a little bit about about Samurai Goro now, that he's a thief. He's known to be quite a handful and loves to pull pranks, like putting frogs in his father's mouth while he's sleeping.
So he's a scamp.
He's a scamp, yep.
I don't know. Less fun and more less fun to be around than Han Solo. More annoying for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough with 10. 10 is tough, right? Yeah. Okay, I feel like we did all right there.
Yeah.
I think we wanted him to be more of like an organized crime guy.
Uh-huh.
And he's just not.
Yeah, 10 really threw us for a loop.
I mean, you just don't expect that. All right. Daigoro, a child. All right, Mark, what is the next number we have to generate between 1 and 53?
Yes.
I feel like I'm learning so much about the world of F-Zero here. Number 4.
Baba.
Baba? B-A-B-A?
B-A-B-A.
Okay.
Driver of the Iron Tiger. This is another F-Zero X Nintendo 64 driver in the series.
Okay, so Baba. Do we think this is a giant baby?
I don't know what else it could be. It's either a giant baby or a space cat.
Right. And we've met space cats before.
Yeah.
We've yet to meet a giant baby.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible this is a robot of some kind? Drives an Iron Tiger.
Yeah.
Baba is a pretty... I mean, I don't know. I guess it could be anything.
Is it a anthropomorphic black sheep?
Sure. Okay. It's an anthropomorphic, and maybe robotic in some way.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
a cybernetic.
Yep.
Black sheep.
Right.
That is less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Right. Age.
Ageless.
Sure. How do sheeps age? We don't know.
Yeah.
This one I really feel adrift here. Like I don't have any kind of impression on what the heck Baba could be.
Yeah, I don't really think we're gonna be close.
Baba was a wild child born and raised amid the natural beauty of Giant, a planet with expansive tracts of green land. He's preternatural animal instincts and a resilient, well-toned physique, both of which factored into his recruitment to the F-Zero pilot selection committee. So this is just like he's like Mowgli.
Yeah.
Born in the wilds of this planet Giant, who was like recruited for F-Zero racing.
Yeah, he does not seem to be a particularly well-rounded. Like, we don't have a lot of information about this character.
Right.
Appears to be a black man.
Yep, that's right. Is 19 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I worry that this has got a little bit of like child soldier, like recruiting from like the velds of Africa kind of vibes to it.
This is a very, I don't know about this character. Okay, here's one of the notes in trivia.
Yes.
Because his sound file for falling in F-Zero X is the same as most females, and that his masterclass video on F-Zero GX shows him dancing almost naked, it is rumored that Baba is a homosexual. The video acting for this character in GX further bolsters this assumption. So I think this might just be a bad ick character.
Yeah, I think there's like a collection of like bad stereotypes and archetypes of just bad stuff here.
Yeah.
So let's pretend that he's what did we say? A sheep?
A cybernetic sheep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't feel great about what happened there, Mark.
No.
All right, Baba. A boy from the Veldt. Maybe a little bit more like Gao from Final Fantasy VI. But with more gross stereotype stuff. Okay. So now between 1 and 52. Number 29.
Okay. Dai Sengen.
Dai Sengen, who drives the Pink Spider.
All right. Well, we were off previously when we tried to guess.
And I don't feel bad about that. You and I did not craft a disgusting fiction in our invention of Baba. That's on F-Zero.
Yes, but the also the last time that we talked about a Dai with Dai Goro,
true,
we were off there as well.
So do we think this is a child?
It feels unlikely to me
that Daisen Goro, or sorry, I messed that up entirely. Daisen Gen.
This pink spider, could this be a woman?
This could be a woman. Although I feel I'm still sort of feeling child here.
Uh-huh.
Pink spider. I don't know. I'm thinking this is another scamp. This is another like street urchin, or this is a street urchin. The other one was not, is the son of a great thief, Samurai Goro. I'm thinking like Dickensian future street urchin.
Okay.
Who is herself a renowned thief.
Okay.
But like young and is using the, much like Kira from Solo, A Star Wars Story, is like entering these dangerous concepts to like get out of the poverty of Corellia or whatever.
Uh-huh. And is using F-Zero as like the means to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great bet. I think we should look to see what this is.
More or less fun than Han Solo.
Oh, well, if they're young, I'm just gonna say less.
Okay, great. And okay. Daisen and Gen. Are triplets.
Okay.
Who make their first appearance in the arcade game. Blah blah blah. They are 64 years old. All right.
But the average life of the beings on Shinar, their home planet, is 200 years.
Okay.
So they are still
in their like 20s. Okay. After reaching adulthood, they remain quite small. They use telepathy, so they don't need to speak. I think we are way off on this one.
I think we were way off. They have incredible teamwork skills.
Uh-huh.
It feels like cheating. Well, do you think it's easier or harder to have 3 people
Probably
operating?
harder.
Probably harder, even if you do have telepathy.
But they are also triplets.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe they have, like, even extra special telepathy. You know what I mean? Like, twin language.
Okay, I feel like if the list that we had included the and...
Right, the ampersand. Right.
Then we would have approached this differently.
I think so, too.
I don't know that we would have ever gotten that there were 3 of them.
Or that they're telepathic.
But 2, we would have known that there were multiple
Or that they're 64 years old.
Multiple components here.
Uh-huh.
I've got to say their designs are really funny to me.
Yes.
As in, like, they are just really short.
Yes, they're very
They look
short.
like Oompa Loompas a little bit.
Right, and they all have, like, obscene male pattern baldness, like the horseshoe shape. One of them has green hair, it looks like.
Yeah.
I
don't know about these. I don't know about these
guys.
Like, I'm looking at them and, like, would I want to play as them in a game?
I mean, maybe, right? Like, they're weird enough.
They are weird enough.
The last bit of trivia on the thing here says the triplets speak with a Chinese-derived Brooklyn accent.
Oh my gosh! What is that?
What does that mean?
Trying to wrap my head around what that
I can't
means.
unpack that. All right. So we didn't know anything about those guys. Next up, between 1 and 51, the random number generator gives us the number 6.
Octoman.
Okay. All right. So last time we encountered something man was Beast Man.
Yep.
Right? And we took it maybe a little too literally.
Yeah.
And we thought that he himself was a beast. So we have to maybe resist temptation here and not declare this man an octopus.
I think you're right. And my first instinct, based on everything we've learned so far about all these different characters, is that maybe Octoman is like a rip-off of Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Yes.
And so it's like a man who has like 4 cybernetic arms or something like that help him operate his F-Zero racer quickly.
Yeah, that makes... What's the name of his car?
The Deep Claw.
Deep Claw. So that also sort of lends credence to that, right? That he would have these mechanical claws. Although the deep part of it does sort of like send us back to octopuses, right?
Right.
Octopi.
Yeah.
That like maybe there's an underwater component to him.
Yeah, but maybe it's just a play on the name, right? Because like Space Angler didn't have anything, like Leon was a cat man.
Right.
Like he didn't have anything to do with fishing or any, I guess cats like fish. And so maybe in the same way that like Octoman,
sure,
like the ocean is deep.
Yeah. Yeah, Space Angler. What does that mean in that context? I guess we won't know.
Yeah.
When we do another episode like this where we just get the names of the cars and we have to guess what they are, then we'll do that then. Okay. So, more or less fun to hang out with than Han Solo.
I want to say less
because he sounds villainous, right? If he's like related to Dr. Octopus or like that.
Yeah.
And then how old do we think?
50s?
Sure. I think that's about right. All right. So looking it up, Mark, we should have gone with our instincts.
No,
he is an octopus man.
To be kidding
He's
me.
an octopus man.
He's 88 years old. Of course he is.
Right.
Of course
he's 88. Of course he's 88 years old.
This is
although you promised me no space Nazis, and 88 is a Nazi thing.
Well, but maybe not on the
on planet Takora.
Takora.
Yeah. Currently at odds with the Milky Way Space Federation.
Okay.
Okay. So
the Takorans are surrounded by enemies and are in a very unstable economic state.
Right.
Due to this, Octoman wants to win the Grand Prix so he can pay the education costs of his children.
Okay.
So he's at least a family man.
So he's positioned as like an enemy of the Milky Way Space Federation, who I think because you and I currently live in the Milky Way, we have to identify with them. Right? But maybe the government in their reality is all bad,
right?
And is like conquering these, the planet Takora, and so he's like a rebel in some ways. Pilots the Deep Claw.
It's upsetting to me. Yeah, so he's like a red octopus man. Wears some body armor, but is showing a lot of leg.
Yes, and not just because he has a lot of legs, but yes, is showing a lot of leg. Does not believe in like pants.
Yeah, seems to have like bloodshot eyes.
Do you know what his face reminds me of? It reminds me of the octopus enemies in Star Tropics.
Oh.
Like with that same sort of like teeth configuration of just like this
little
like
he
starburst
does. It's
of
almost
teeth.
like a do octopus have that? Like because it reminds me of like on Squid,
right?
Or like a giant squid, at least the one in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that has like a beak,
right? Or like the Kraken in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Okay, I like Octoman.
I gotta say, I like Octoman as well.
It's upsetting that we swerved away from Octopus Man.
We gotta trust our instincts.
No, but like our instincts have been wrong. Every time we thought, but Leon was not our fault. Nobody could have guessed Leon.
No,
but I guess Leon being a cat person opened the door to it being a possibility.
But Beast Man wasn't a beast.
Yeah.
So why is Octoman an octopus?
Well, I think Octoman is cooler.
I also think Octoman is cooler.
Yeah.
Octoman might be the coolest person that we've looked at so far. Still less fun to be around than Han Solo.
Kind of looks like Krang a little bit. Has
a
like
little
a Krang
yeah.
thing going on.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are any of the characters in F-Zero pleasant?
No. I mean, I guess maybe Bart Lemming.
Is just a slightly more pleasant version of Captain Falcon.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's do 2 more of these.
Okay. So 1 through 50.
Thank you. 1 through 50 gives us the number 32.
QQQ.
All right. Okay. QQQ.
Driving the rolling turtle.
Driving the rolling turtle. This has got to be a robot, right?
Yeah, this has got to be a robot.
So this is either a robot or some sort of non-corporeal intelligence that like exists in like a vapor cloud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not human.
No, this is not human, not humanoid.
Right. And its motivations unknowable.
Yeah.
Right? Both unknown and unknowable.
And I think, which one do we want to go with? Do we want to go down the path of robot or do we want to go down the path of mist?
Let's go down the path of mist.
Okay.
Because that's more fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, is anything containing this mist, or is it just like
That's a great
how is it
question.
operating an F-Zero racer?
Well,
How's it
telepathy, probably.
Probably 'cause
Telekinesis.
We know the telekinesis exists in this world.
Right. But no, you ask a good question. Like, is it contained by a suit or anything? And I'm gonna say no.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's just like a loose, plasma being.
Yeah, and it's almost like a school of fish that's all just
That's
like
right,
operating in unison.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe it is like operating the rolling turtle by like directly interfacing with it in binary or something, right?
Right.
Like it's some sort of computer cloud thing. An AI, not actually given physical form, but just like a mist.
But like a literal, yeah.
So it could either be of mechanical origin or whatever.
Age is unknowable.
Right.
It's probably been, it came out of Glacier.
Right.
It will return to Glacier someday.
That's right.
It is less fun to hang out with than Han Solo, for sure.
I think that's right. Okay. QQQ. It's a robot.
No, why?
He's a junk robot.
He's a junk robot.
Okay, so he looks a little bit like the pod race, like the pit droids. Again from Star Wars. Okay, he's a junk robot. It was found buried within a scrap pile in a galactic waste management facility. It's unclear why he was discarded, but was picked up. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, so maybe a little bit of a Wall-E thing going.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Tortured by the knowledge that a very important data lies somewhere in its programming.
What?
I'm reading from. So he was damaged and thrown away because his memory had some sort of important information in it, but he cannot access that.
Oh my
memory.
gosh, that's like horrifying. Can you imagine? It's like he has dementia.
Yeah.
It's like he's like trying, he knows there's something he needs to remember.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he can't do it. It's always just out of grasp. Yikes. Why is he racing?
I don't know. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Which means entering the F-Zero Grand Prix to help prevent a possible universe-changing event that is due to occur.
Oh,
okay.
He's from the future.
Okay.
He was brought back from the future in order to prevent this.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, buried within a scrap pile in the Galactic Waste Management Facility. He was found and repaired by a space police detective named Phoenix, and became his partner.
Okay, so he's a crime-fighting
robot
junk robot
from the future.
Okay, great.
So the robot QQQ has the necessary navigation hardware to traverse time, though the damage caused when it was discarded has made it impossible for QQQ to use that power. Until that power is repaired, it accompanies Phoenix in his mission, and I guess Phoenix is a F-Zero driver as well. So that's why QQQ
he drives because Phoenix drives.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Mark. You're sitting on a time-traveling junk robot who is the partner to a detective. Why are you sticking him in a racing game? Why isn't he the star of his own series?
This is a lot of there's a lot of trauma in the lives of F-Zero characters.
Yeah.
This is really bleak stuff.
Yeah. Really bleak stuff. His age, I guess, like sort of unknown / unknowable, right?
Yeah.
He's from 200 years in the future, so like, what does it even mean? a very strange character. Mark, let's do one more of these and see if let's see if we can get one. This next one, let's get it right.
Okay.
Okay.
This one we're gonna nail. 100%.
We're gonna know exactly between 1 and 49, 36.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
Nichi.
Right. So not Zendaya. It's not Michi.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Remember that video?
I do remember
so good.
that video.
And
not the philosopher.
Nope.
But maybe
Hey, we don't know.
I don't want to be thrown off. I don't want to be thrown off because
right.
we're getting this one right.
We're getting this one right. And again, we've not encountered a woman yet, right?
We haven't.
We've encountered an octopus and a cat man
and 3 little like 60-year-old hobgoblin type things.
Yes. And a time traveling robot. Now, let's see. Do we think Nietzsche's a woman?
I feel like the odds are against us.
The odds are definitely against us. I'm going to say no. Drives the Windwalker. This is originally introduced in F-Zero Maximum Velocity. What do you think, Mark?
Maybe some sort of like ninja.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't had something really like that yet, right? Like a sort of classic warrior type.
Yeah.
That you would see in like an RPG or something. Nietzsche.
What to make of Windwalker?
Right. It's tough because obviously we're a Nintendo podcast. We're talking about Nintendo stuff. Makes me think of Wind Waker.
Okay. This is dangerous.
Okay.
But I'm just based on what we've learned in the past about some of these other characters.
Okay.
Could this character be a Native American?
Wind Walker, Wind Talker. Is that sort of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's possible. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll roll with it. We're in the 27th century. Is that right?
27th,
okay.
I think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. So what's he like?
Affable?
Sure. Possibly like an outcast?
Yeah, possibly an outcast. Younger, I'm going to say.
Yeah, younger guy. And joins the F-Zero tournament or whatever it is to like prove himself.
Yeah.
Right? And like for his people, like proves his people, right?
Yeah.
Is like a valid part of this horrible death race.
Yeah. Everybody here has a death wish of some sort or another, right?
Seems that way, yeah.
Yeah.
More fun to be around than Han Solo or less?
I'm going to go ahead and say more.
We're going to go ahead and say more.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Age? 21.
Yeah, 21.
Great. All right. Nietzsche is a young Native American man.
No way.
He's been nicknamed the Sweep Man. Very little is written about this character. 28 years old.
Okay, so not too far off on the name.
On the age.
Oh, yeah, on the age.
Geez, there's like nothing else about him on the wiki here.
Okay, I'm jumping. Oh yeah, there's nothing.
You're going off wiki.
Yeah. No. I tried to find a different one, and it has even less information. Let's see.
What, help me decode this. The trivia section on the F-Zero fandom wiki, it's one bullet point, reads like this: the name of Nietzsche makes you inspirational and idealistic. Your sense that there is a deeper meaning to life gives you an interest in philosophy or religion. It is only in the quiet of the out of doors that you find happiness and contentment. Did you read like a fortune cookie or like a horoscope for someone named Nietzsche?
Yeah, I don't.
Is that something that like a character says to this guy?
Right.
The sprite that we're looking at here, he's like wearing a like leather coat, it looks like, and has like some kind of like sigils drawn on like the front of his jumpsuit.
Okay, I'm on f0.neoseeker.com.
Okay, great.
This entry has no references.
Good.
But this is what it says.
Okay.
Nietzsche is a middle-aged Native American man who entered the current F-Zero Grand Prix in order to potentially raise money for his family, who are currently alien in poverty. Okay, this is a theme,
right,
for a lot of drivers.
Right.
Through independent work, Independent is spelled incorrectly. I don't know how much we can trust this.
Right.
As the apprentice to a veteran F-Zero pilot, Nietzsche was able to successfully register himself for the upcoming races with a brand new machine that he had fully constructed for himself through amounts of tireless effort, the Windwalker. Over time, Nietzsche had picked up a commonplace nickname, the Sweep, which originates from his natural ability to clear the track of protruding opponents and sweep his way to the front of the pack, almost like the wind. Okay, I have no idea if any of this is true or if somebody like made this up based on the little bit of information that
you don't know if I've been editing this wiki as we go.
Are you DXD? Because that is this page's recent editors from January 15th, 2011.
Okay. Not a lot is known or written about this guy.
But I've got to say,
we nailed it.
We got pretty close. Out of all of these,
yes,
we got surprisingly close.
I can't believe I made us not say that Octoman was an octopus.
And the QQQ, we had two
teetering.
options.
Yeah.
We had two paths.
Yep.
Okay.
So that one I would say we largely got right, but the rest of them, miserable failures.
Yeah, pretty bad.
There are another 48 characters that we did not even mention here.
Some of these are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
and any you want to like just bring up?
Mr. EAD.
Mr. EAD, I was hoping we would talk about Mr. EAD.
It's a great name.
Because like that's got to just be like an inside joke to Nintendo stuff, right?
Right. James McCloud.
Yep. There's a Zoda in here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I can only assume is the villain from Star Tropics.
Blitz Wagner. You want to talk about space Nazis?
Yeah, that's true. What about Don Genie? Is he a mobster or a genie?
Lisa Brilliant? It's possible that we could have had a woman in here.
Yeah, it's true. Lord Cyber?
That's pretty good.
Lucy Liberty.
Pageant star. Yeah, I mean, F-Zero is just its own crazy world.
Did you think so? As we are like discovering the identities of these characters, I was surprised by how twisted metally it was.
Oh yeah,
that they have like similarly grim, and that like the world of F-Zero is also like, oh yeah, the world is in like absolute ruin and cars kill people, which I guess is also our world too. Cars kill people all the time, just ripping through the streets.
Yeah, people are driving F-Zero cars as a measure of last resort,
right?
To try to help either their impoverished selves,
right,
or their impoverished planet.
Or their detective partner who dug them out of a junk pile after being sent 200 years in the past.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a grim world.
It's a grim world.
All right. Mark, let's close this out. If you, dear listener, have a favorite F-Zero character and their tragic backstory, please email us, because I don't know how much you and I are ever going to dig into this outside of this exercise.
Yeah.
Because we would like to know who's your favorite busted racer in this game. Email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much to our 16-bit patrons, Connor McCabe, Patrice Millette, Kyle Seaborn. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone listening to this show or interacting with us in any way. If you are not in our Discord, you should be. So email us and get in there. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers saying thank you for listening.